you should avoid using images, links, and especially attachments in that first email. Why is this so important? When you are sending an email to a prospect, especially a cold email, and it's the first one, and it includes images, links, attachments, it's going to hurt your deliverability.
Initiating becoming a hiring machine sequence in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, it's Sam Keenly, and welcome to Becoming a Hiring Machine. This is the show dedicated to fixing recruitment by going beyond saying what needs to change and instead teaches you how to make that change. Today we've got a great Tactical Tuesday episode ahead of us, but before we get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about the show. Essentially, we have shows within the show here. Some days we have interviews with industry thought leaders and others who are shaking up the space, while other days we cover things like trending topics. Stop by every Tuesday for a Tactical Tuesday episode where we go deep on how to do something that's going to help you drive better results in your day-to-day. Some days we open up for Q&A, and other days you get a mic drop episode from Matt where he shares something that he's been thinking about within the recruitment space and wants you to know. Now, as a reminder, if you like the content that we share here on the show, make sure that you subscribe for more. All right, today's Tactical Tuesday. Email deliverability has been quite the hot topic lately, especially in light of some of the recent changes like Google's new spam updates and a growing emphasis on privacy. So the problem of email deliverability is one that, and especially for recruiters, it can quickly become philosophical because while there are technical considerations and challenges to be aware of, you're going to have to learn to navigate those, but there are larger questions at play too. Like, are you sending your emails to the right people? And are you sending emails that those people actually want to read? So we have compiled an email deliverability guide, all things that recruiters need to know. We'll link to it in the show notes here, but I wanted to get into two specific sections that I think are very under the radar, underrated tactics that a lot of recruiters, even marketers and email professionals aren't necessarily thinking about, that are coming to light more and more as email deliverability rates comes to the forefront. So the first tip that I want to get into is something not many of us would think about, but in the first email, whether it's to candidates, to hiring managers or other organizations that you're doing biz dev to, but you should avoid using images, links, and especially attachments in that first email. So why is this so important? When you are sending an email to a prospect, especially a cold email, and it's the first one, and it includes images, links, attachments, it's going to hurt your deliverability. Spam filters, especially from providers like Google and Yahoo and Outlook, are highly sensitive to emails that contain media and external links in the first touch point. And these filters are designed to protect users from phishing attempts, which we all know are rising, malicious content, anything that looks even suspicious. These are often coming in the forms of, you guessed it, images, attachments, and links. And these are going to pull into the spam folder to protect their users. So if you are including them, it's sending a signal straight to the email provider. Hey, this person's never popped up in their inbox before, but it's probably going to be unsafe or promotional. So there's a significantly higher chance that it's junk, that it's spam. So it's going to go straight into that folder. And when it does go to that folder, it doesn't just affect the outreach outcome of that one, but it's going to start to harm your domain's reputation score over time, because that's being logged by that provider, Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, that, your domain, it's landing here, keep this up, and it's going to start to get you in the no-no bin, so to speak. So you'll definitely want to do that. One caveat though is unsubscribe options. So while avoiding links and attachments is critical, you're still going to need to provide a way for recipients to opt out of future emails. And so this is where part 2 starts to really come in, and it's the importance of having an unsubscribe option, but it's doing it in a way that still jibes with what we're trying to accomplish here. So one, you have to provide recipients with a clear and accessible way to unsubscribe. It's a legal obligation, and it's also incredibly important to maintain the integrity of your email campaign. So with growing privacy regulations like GDPR and CAN-SPAM, you must be able to easily opt out of communications that people no longer want to receive. If you don't have this, you're going to have deliverability issues, and you're going to quickly get beyond spam territory with Google, and you could have some fun legal items that come your way following that. So how do you think about offering unsubscribe in different ways? So the two main ways that people have typically handled it is, one, you have an unsubscribe link in your email. We were talking a little bit ago about, do you want to provide links? Yes or no? We'll get into that in a second. The other is you can have them reply with an unsubscribe sentence, so to speak. So say, hey, reply not interested, reply please unsubscribe after this to stop receiving messages. So using these phrases, it's going to help keep your email text-based and conversational while allowing the recipient to easily opt out and not have a link in there. So would definitely say that's something to think about there. And I know some of you are probably thinking like, I don't want people to unsubscribe from me, then I can't reach out to them later on. In this new age of privacy and domain email regulation, that's actually the best thing that can happen for you. Because if you have people that don't want to be emailed to you, receive your emails, it's going to help your domain score because you're not going to be getting in front of them anymore. And it's also not going to be having them marked as spam. So I'll explain this through a little, not story, so to speak, but you have two different avenues you can go. And a lot of reasons why people shy away from using unsubscribe links, because you're worried that people are going to opt out. But what happens is that if you don't have an unsubscribe link, people that are going to search for those and who are frustrated are going to mark your email as spam. So not only are you going to get an unsubscribe from it, but you're going to get a spam. And we're seeing Google's recently announced it was like a 0.3% emails, if they're marked as spam, that's going to severely harm your domain reputation. So that's less than one email per 100 sends if you have that. So having the unsubscribe feature will help your deliverability overall, because it's just going to have people become unsubscribes. It's not going to be having them hurt your domain. So at the end of the day, make that ability for them to easily opt out, unsubscribe. That's going to help you in the long term. But back to the root of what we're continuing to say here on this podcast with our content in general is, if you're delivering truly valuable, helpful, educational, interesting content, high quality content, relevant content, people aren't going to unsubscribe. People aren't going to mark it as spam because they find it helpful and engaging. So that's back to the philosophical thing we teased out at the beginning of this episode. Make sure that you're always rooting your emails in that and asking yourself before you hit send on anything, is this helpful? Is this educational? Is it engaging? Is it relevant? And if you're not able to answer yes to those, then maybe you shouldn't even be sending that email in the first place. So as I said, this is just 2 quick tips from our email deliverability guide that is linked in the show notes. But again, these are ones that I think that a lot of people should know, be aware of, and are worth keeping in mind as you continue to plow forward into this age of what email deliverability looks like. So appreciate you taking the time to listen to this episode. I hope that you're able to learn something from it. I know when we were researching this, we learned a lot about it as well. So as we wrap, Becoming a Hiring Machine is a production of Loxo. If you like this episode and you're not sure where to go next, we've got a link to a similar one, and you can find that in the description of your favorite podcast streaming platform, as well as on our website, loxo.co/podcast. Full video episodes are available on YouTube as well as on our website. If you have rough questions, send them to us, podcast@loxo.co. And lastly, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave us a quick rating in your podcast streaming platform. It only takes 3 seconds, but it's going to help other recruiters like you to find us. So all right, everyone, that's the show. That was a Tactical Tuesday. Until next time, bye y'all.